Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 13 of this Let's Play Europa Universalis 4 as Lord Novgorod the Great. I'm rather hoping that 13 does not prove to be our unlucky number, considering all of the bad things that we have just recently been doing. Thankfully, we don't actually have that much aggressive expansion, but in the last episode we did get a bunch of vassals. As you can see here, we have in fact 5 vassals at this stage. And we need to really work at ingratiating ourselves with quite a few of them. We may even need to start trying to integrate Ryzev. We may wait. No, we need to start doing that. So I need to remove you from... Oh dear, this is not going to be fun. I need to stop you being a march, which is also going to upset you. No, I don't really want to do that. I'm kind of umming and ahhing about it because we want to keep Ryzev happy for a start, so we have less people with Liberty Desire struggling against us. But if we upset Ryzev, Tver, they own Ryzev, but they own back Tver, then we have more people that we need to improve relations with, and we already have all of our diplomats busy with that. So first things first, we're sending them home. That's good. We do have some rebels coming up in Tver. We shouldn't have too many problems with them. In fact, because we have so many vassals rather than new provinces, the rebel situation shouldn't be hugely problematic. Now, at the end of the previous war, here we go, changing all of the rivalries, we did take rather a lot of money in war reparations, in indemnities, essentially. So we were able to pay off, I think, 2 of the loans. Was it 3? I think it was 2. So we have resolved some of the interest issues, but we are still losing a ton of money. And we are still really, really vulnerable to an attack by Lithuania, or worse, the hordes. So I really hope that does not happen. We're going to keep up our mercenary armies for the time being. We have actually invested quite heavily in getting up some cannons and things, so we're not entirely reliant on mercenaries, but pretty close. We do have a fairly decent general, although he could have been much, much better considering he's a 100 tradition guy. I'll split you in half so we have half and half on either side. Would ultimately like to have 5 cannon in our army, but I think we just so desperately need to pay off these loans that we're not going to build more. So what is our force limit now? 41. I would like to get more of that. I'm still feeling very, 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 very vulnerable. Like we are definitely a paper tiger right now. We look big, but we're not. Although, saying that we look big, we could also go after a few of these other guys. Like both Poltoska and Sukhov, no allies, tiny states that we could quite easily go after. However, going after them, because they're further south, could result in aggressive... Poland would make an alliance with us. That's interesting. Yeah, we definitely want that. You, stop. We want friends. Hi, friend. Yay, we have a friend. Alright, so we have a military alliance with Poland, so we are going to keep this diplomat, befriending him to make sure that we keep this as high as possible. You do want one of our provinces, but that's not going to lead to too many problems between us. However, thinking about problems, I should be declaring precisely what territory I want. I'm going to say that. Why did that switch? That is what I was trying to do. Okay. So, Poland. Poland, old buddy, old pal, old chap. Let's improve relations with you so that we're just keeping our relations a bit higher, just to make sure they do actually acknowledge any wars that we get into and, you know, fight on our side. Would be rather nice. They're probably so willing to join a fight because they are rather weak themselves, having just fought against Lithuania, Trier, Promorena. Oh wow, that was quite a lot of people you fought against. So you probably have no army right now. You're kind of in the same situation that we are, honestly. I really want to go after those guys, but I just dare not. We are now 2 over our force limit, and we're still dealing with a whole bunch of very rebellious vassals. I mean, admittedly, the Liberty Desire will go down over time, quite dramatically as we improve our relations with them and we build up our own military. We should still dwarf them in terms of like total strength, but it is something that we need to keep an eye on, especially as a vassal with over 50 Liberty Desire can be supported for independence by an outside power like Lithuania or one of the hordes, and things from there go bad. Why am I getting corruption? Oh, religious unity, because of all the Catholic provinces I have. Not much I can do about that, just need to raise my patriarch authority a bit more just to get the missionaries working a bit harder. We could go up in military tech. I think that would be a phenomenal plan. We're definitely doing that. And we could also go up in Diplotech. Is there anything to make me not want to do that? I don't think so. Let's do it. Because this gives me access to caravels, which are better at protecting trade. So these guys will eventually need to be upgraded. Right now, however, I do not have the money to do that. So we're just going to have to wait. Maintenance still low. All the forts should be off. They are. Yes. We have no advisors, so over time we should get more and more income, which will allow us to pay off the debts more and more quickly, and that will kind of snowball. But yeah, I would really like to build some more soldiers too. But the more troops you have, oh, and we need to upgrade. The more troops that you have, the more you have to pay in maintenance, obviously. So we can now upgrade our soldiers to pike infantry, which, considering we are currently, what, Eastern Militia? Makes them much more defensive. Wow, actually that's double as defensive. That's actually a very good upgrade. Excellent. And that should make us more able to resist, particularly the hordes, who will be using a lot of cavalry. And cavalry, of course, are good in shock. So that is mostly an anti-horde upgrade. I approve, because that will be really useful. Did my mercenaries automatic upgrade? Yes, they did. Excellent. And it would be like really nice if we could drop the mercenaries and switch to just regular soldiers, because obviously they're a lot cheaper. But well, actually we're getting a decent amount of manpower now. Wouldn't be a bad call. You know what? We're going to start doing that. We're going to build 2 more cannons, and we're going to start building pike infantry too. I thought I'd be able to afford the 2. The loans can just keep on cycling for the moment. We need to make sure that we at least keeping up the appearance of being strong, even if we actually are not. And that will also mean that we can, the stronger we are militarily, the stronger we are in comparison to them and the less liberty to desire they will have, and B, the less likely foreign forces are to attack us. And C, as we're getting more regular troops rather than mercenaries, they are cheaper, so ultimately it is a money-saving initiative. And now that we have all 5 cannons in this army, either of these stacks, sieging someone will get the maximum +5 siege ability against that. So we are going to be knocking down castles pretty quickly. Yep, I would love to have some more Patriarch authority. Fantastic, that increases the strength of my missionaries and decreases unrest. So we want a powerful church right now. Does mean we're making less money out of taxes, but we should be compensating that in making money out of trade. I think that is going to be the benefit Novgorod has over Muscovy. And the hilarious thing is, Muscovy is now a vassal. What? Oh, I see, Muscovy have gone bankrupt. That would take another loan out. It would increase their relations with me, which is actually really helpful. It's only 100 ducats, so I'm going to do it. And yes, that does mean we take a loan. Man, we have 8 inflation. We should probably buy that down a bit, because that will also mean that we're paying less interest. And it means we'll have less of the really negative interest events too, which is another thing that we need to consider. Now, I really want to become a monarchy. Come on. How long am I going to have to wait until we declare ourselves a monarchy? He's 72 years old now. That's one of the oldest rulers I've ever seen. Okay, and there he goes. We have become a monarchy with a 412 ruler. No heir as yet. We'll have almost no legitimacy, but I don't really care about that because I'm immediately going to check to see what I need to become an oligarchic administration. So I need aristocratic ideas and influence ideas. Influence ideas might actually be a very good choice for me right now because of the number of vassals I have. So that will mean that we make more money out of them. We fabricate claims more cheaply, which kind of seems pointless now, because that just costs spy network, and those are super easy to get anyway. Diplomatic annexation cost, however, would be fantastic for us. Aggressive expansion, as always, is nice, though we're not going to be that aggressive, I don't think, but we'll see. An unjustified demand means you can take more in wars. So I think we will go for the influence ideas first, although we could go for aristocratic, which means that our cavalry fights harder. We get more money from vassals, we get more manpower, stronger army, more diplomats, which would be nice. More military tech, which would also be nice, and more leaders. Both of them would be useful. How far are we from getting our second idea group? Next idea. So we will be getting both of them. So I think we're going to start with influence. We're very close to getting that immediately, which will then make our vassals pay us more money, which means we're paying off our loans more quickly. That was basically what swung it right to there. We have got a royal marriage from Poland. Yes, absolutely. Sweden, how are you doing? Alright, you are still looking very, very shaky, but I want to build up my alliances again. You're not rivals with Poland, are you? No. Alright, we're good. We're good. Renewed loan. Yep, we'll have a royal marriage with Sweden as well. And we should start improving relations with them too. Whoops, no, do not send them an insult, that would be bad. Okay, now thanks to the having bailed Muscovy out, they are still at 100 Liberty Desire, that's irritating. Right, we're just going to have to keep on chipping away at their opinion with our diplomats. We are accruing corruption, but I cannot afford to be paying it off right now, so be it, essentially. We could, however, invest in some more troops. I think we will. I think we're just going to go with the infantry at this stage. I could also do cavalry, but cavalry cost almost twice as much as infantry in terms of maintenance. I mean, artillery are also super, super expensive. We have a lot of mercenary infantry, though. Let's go for 4 cavalry, which will bring us to 36 out of our 41. I think we'll have a strong enough army to dissuade people from attacking us. And that's the main point of maintaining this strong military. And I'm also going to reduce our maintenance completely. I might move slightly further away from the front line though. Denmark's claiming land off of us, that's not good. So we will have to wait a month or two before we can actually move these guys, because with the 0 morale when they're produced means they cannot immediately move. Okay. And at this stage I think we are in a position to just pay the loans off. You're taking attrition there. We have another heir. It's quite a decent heir actually. Alright, cool. Still want the Republic ultimately, but we're not quite there yet. We are probably going to end up falling... Oh no, we're actually ahead of time right now, so we're okay. Still taking... Let's go to Neva then. Attrition. Need to keep an eye on these. We do have a bunch of rebels coming up, but we have a big army, so we should be okay in dealing with those. Did we lose a general? No. Yeah, we lost our 100 tradition guy. Well, that's irritating. Or was that him? That might well have been him. Well, he only counts as a 1-star. That's really unlucky for 100 tradition. Thought the other... No, he was a 2-star. No, I don't know. I'm lost. Alright, so I think we have enough relations with Sweden, because we need to focus on getting these guys happier, especially Nizhny Novgorod, because you are one of the bigger ones. We'll start improving relations with you. Right, Odiev is almost loyal. Yaroslav or Nizhny need a bit more work, and Muscovy is going to be the hardest to deal with, despite the fact we are also improving relations with Muscovy. Renewing a bunch of loans, and there we go. We are going to get more money from the vassals. So currently we are earning nothing because they don't have 50 liberties, less than 50 liberties, and marchers don't pay tax. which is another reason that we really need to unmarch Ryzan, Tver, that's the word. Keep on looking at Ryzev and thinking that's them, but no, they're actually Tver, they just don't own Tver. Thanks to an event, we pinched the land off of them. How's the estates looking? Is that saying the nobility is unhappy? Yes. Why is that? Oh, it does. See, I think that should be a red banner, surely. Saying they need more territory. Oh, maybe not, because it's not a critical thing. It's just saying we're a bit upset with you. So we need to give the boyars a little bit more territory. But we want to do it outside of the Novgorod area, so it has to be kind of up here, if we can. I kind of suspect we may not be able to. No, I don't think we can. Alright, Moscow actually produces a lot of trade power, so we're not going to give you that. 7886, 332, could give you to the boyars. Calm. 343, you do... yeah, we could give you to the boyars. Is that enough? That is enough. Okay, cool, they're happy now. And we will have to recycle some of these to make everyone in the Novgorod trade node Burghers eventually, but probably not until we actually become a republic again. 15 loans. This is going to take us a long time to repay. 2,200. Burghers lose 20 loyalty and 10 influence. Gain loyalty and influence, but we lose money. I don't want to lose money. I'm actually kind of happy to let them lose loyalty because we don't have that many Burghers. Only 3% are Burghers. Yes, it will reduce our income very slightly, only 2.5%, because our influence is so low, so who cares? Costly trade embargo. Nogai are not a rival. And they have not rivaled us anymore either. That is good. Alright, let's cancel you and then revoke embargo. Give us a little bit more trade efficiency. And then we can almost immediately start improving relations once again. So Odiev is almost loyal. And I think this was actually the guy that was doing Odiev. How much have we done? We have improved 134, aggressive expansion minus 127, forced vassalization minus 91. But technically we're actually improving our relations by 5.5 plus whatever our improved relations is doing. Surprised it doesn't say there. 3, so it's actually going up by about 8 a month right now, which is actually a huge improvement. So I think we'll be okay with the vassals. We just need to spend a little bit of time and a little bit of patience to get them up to scratch. However, I have just noticed that we have a 90% rebel. Whoa! That's not cheap. Do we have reinforcements? Oh, we have... oh, okay, fine. We have reinforcements. It's just going to be a month or two. So we can lose some diplo power or prestige. I'll take the prestige hit. So where are you going to hit? You're going to fire into Tver itself. So until we're at strength, I'll throw you there and put you next door. Are there any wars being fought? No. I was thinking I could hire out part of my army as condottieri if there were big wars, but there aren't. Not really. None of our own enemies. Oh, you haven't rivaled us anymore either. Can I unrival the Golden Hordes, though? They feel threatened by us? Really? I guess you do have military 6 to our 9, so we dominate you militarily. But you still have the step bonuses. See, this is the difference that having a massive army, just maintaining this huge army does. it makes us a lot less... Well, it makes us a lot more threatening than we perhaps actually are. Yeah, we'll take more authority. Our marriage has ended, but hopefully they will renew it. Alright, Odeyev is now happy with us, so we're going to stop improving relations with Odeyev, because that's just going to happen over time anyway. And we are going to focus on Yaroslavl instead. And we should now, yep, have a bit of income from Odeyev. Good. Are these actually going to rise? Yes, they are, in about 4 years. Screw that. I want them to rise in a year. Alright, so we lose money, we gain prestige, or we lose prestige. As much as I like the National Epic, because it does last for 20 years. That's 20 years. My base prestige is going to be well high. No. Just because I have pretty decent power projection now, I have the trading in fur, which means I have a monopoly on fur, basically. Which also increases my prestige, and I'm not surprised by, there they are, by that, because we produce a lot of fur, and I can show you that by going to the trade goods map mode. Everything in brown is fur, of which we have a lot, although Sweden does produce a fair amount itself. But all of this is fur, and fur is actually worth a lot of money in production. So our production income should be... it's not as high as I expected, actually, but we don't have much production efficiency, that's probably why. Alright, let's kill these rebels. Slaughter, marvellous. And then there are no rebels for a little while, so we're going to turn down our army maintenance again, mostly, not all the way just yet, because we do have some reinforcements to do. And I would like to keep my armies up to some form of strength. And it should only be a month or two of losing through this reinforcement. Alright, we'll reduce a bit more. Up to there, that should be okay. We could get another technology. Ah, here we are. Admin, beautiful. And with that admin tech, we are going to take aristocratic ideas. Once we have completed both of these, we will be able to switch to a republic again. And it is a bit strange to me that you need aristocracy to get an oligarchic republic, but so it goes. So we'll need stability at least 1, check. We need to be at peace, check. We're not subject, check. And that will switch us to an oligarchic republic, and from there we are on the Republican tree, so we can just go up it like ordinary. And we will then benefit from this bad boy. So right now, because we are a monarchy, it does nothing. But when we switch back to being a republic, we'll get the 0.5 Republican tradition, which is very, very strong. Yes, I would like cheaper cavalry and better cavalry. It does cost a bit more because of our corruption, but I will just soak up that. We should actually be burning some of this off, thanks to our ahead of time and diplomatic. No, our religious unity. Well, actually, our stability and ahead of time are countering the religious unity penalty right now. Alright, you are up to 80%. That is going to be a lot of rebels. And you are ticking up very, very quickly. So we may well have to take another loan. In fact, I'm almost certain that we will need to take another loan. What are the vassals doing? Getting there. Except for Muscovy, who just hates us. Oh, because you're historical rivals. You get plus 50 just because of that? Really? I really wish it had said that when we vassalized them, because I would have just taken the land otherwise. Because that plus 50% means we can never annex them. Because they have to be below 50% to annex. Is there any way of losing that? I hate it when the game throws stuff like that at you. I mean, I still think it's hilarious that they're our vassal, but they're a pointless vassal now. And all you're going to do is you're going to upset my other vassals more because of the comparative power that you have. So what I'll probably do is just release you. Can't when it's enforced by a truce, which lasts until another 6 years. And we have separatists rising in down there, so let's move into Moscow and there. In fact, we'll turn on the fort. We'll move to Vladimir and we'll move to Kaluga. Smolensk, was that one of the provinces? No. We'll recall that one. There we go, Muscovy. No, don't go there just yet. Stop. I want you all in Kaluga. Thankfully we turned on the fort, so it will take them a moment to siege it down, although Smolensk is also about to go. But our armies are all here and they're all on high maintenance now, so I think we'll be fine. Narva has been converted. That's good, because that's going to decrease our religious unity penalty. These still take so long. Ridiculous. No, we're still getting the 0.07 from religious unity. So the reason we're going into Kaluga here... Reval was not on 90%. How did that fire? I'm not... Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was only Smolensk. Oh, for Pete's sake. Stop lying to me. Well, at least we dealt with Moscow. Actually, what we should do is turn you on, because Smolensk will be the next one to fire. We'll turn you off. And we'll go and retake Reval then, I guess. One of you can stay in Moscow for a bit, so that we're not crossing lines too much for the attrition ticks. And we're losing money thanks to the reinforcements. But once this wave of rebels are done, we should be good for another 10 years or so. And then it's just pure making money. Like I was expecting the rebels, that was just a part of what we have to deal with. Okay, let's leave the leader there, because I think he has siege ability, and we'll move you down to Smolensk and see if you can do some damage to it when these guys rise. Then next up would be Poltosk. Losing a lot of money right now, but that is purely because of the reinforcements. Gain a base tax in Novgorod. For money or for manpower? Manpower, clearly. I don't need it right now. So speaking of that, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to buy a bunch of pike infantry, because we're Russia. We don't really have the manpower problems, and I'd rather pay manpower for reinforcements rather than money. So that's 3 in each, 4 in each, 5 in each, 6 in each, 7 in each. That'll do. And then we can drop that many mercenaries when they arrive, because we'll be over the force limit quite heavily. So 5, 6, 7. Going to Reval. We'll split out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Disband. And the other 7 will send to Smolensk, but I'm a little more nervous about doing that, just because we have rebels due to fire here. So we're going to wait until these guys actually arrive before disbanding. And the reason I disbanded these ones immediately is because we are over the force limits. We would have been paying extra, and I'd rather not pay extra. In fact, I can turn Smolensk off again because we have an army sitting there. And Reval is about to fall. Excellent. Siege of Reval is done. Let's turn you off. Bring you up here. Okay, these guys are arriving now, so I feel quite happy to get rid of the 7. 7 of you. There we are. Disband. As these guys arrive and take their place. And you, apparently, I forgot. That's fine. We should be saving a bunch of money now. And ultimately we'll want to get rid of the other 3 mercenaries we have. Then we're back at a fully regular army, which is much cheaper. Alright, come on. Actually, we're going to move to Kaluga. We're going to have you in Ryazov, because I want Smolensk to fire. We'll be right next to it for when it does, and we can just charge in and kill them. Because if you have troops there, then you get basically a bonus to unrest. And yes, I know I just took another loan. So you know what? With that loan, we are going to take the rest of the troops that we need. 3, 1, 2, 3. Which means I can get rid of those mercenaries straight away. And that should be saving us an absolute chunk of cash. I don't think I'm going to bother with the cavalry just yet, even though our cavalry do fight better thanks to our aristocratic ideas, simply because of the cost. And we just lost a general. Fantastic. Let's grab another. I'm not going to bother re-rolling, so you have no shock at all. Great. Livonians are going to fire very soon, as is Poltosk. So we may put you... No, we won't move you just yet. So clearly Poltosk is going to fire before anyone else. Just the way it works. Alright, we'll put you in Colm so you can quickly reinforce, and you lot can go to Kaluga. Okay, so our army is now fully regular. It'll be recharged purely through manpower, but we are Russia, we should be getting a lot of manpower, especially as we build up, well, nobility adds even more, army tradition will add even more to that, and the fact that we have patriarch authority is also adding another 11%, so we should have a lot of manpower kicking around. Like I've said before, if we have a problem we throw money and bodies at it. See, it's better than Muscovy because we can throw money as well as bodies. Livland, that's not where I was expecting you to fire. Okay, so we're going to go to Livland. We're going to switch this on again just because they outnumber us so heavily. Sweden wants another royal marriage, of course, of course. Now you stay Narva. That is not a fortified province, so it'll be very easy to retake. Oh right, yeah, Sukhov's not actually ours, is it? Right then. And there goes Poltava. It does have a fort. Come on. No, it's going to fall before we finish this fight. This was a close fight. That's really irritating. We want to attack that before it has a chance to get more garrison, because then it takes even longer to fall. Nizhny Novgorod. We gain manpower, which we don't really need. Nizhny Novgorod gets Liberty Desire, which I'd rather not deal with, so I'll take the penalty, prestige penalty, rather. Alright, so we have two armies. We're going to send the 14,000 to Smolensk, because we know that there is a uprising about to happen. We're going to group U, shift consolidate, detach, and move the rest of... Oh, for goodness sake, stop moving the artillery, I need them in the siege. Idiots. I'm going to move some of the infantry. We actually need 2,000, we'll send them up there. So we are 9,000 men short now in terms of manpower, but we're pretty much done with the rebels. Once Smolensk fires, then that's it. We can go on to zero maintenance and recuperate. Our armies are a lot cheaper than they used to be, which is excellent. I just want these guys to fire, come on. Alright, we'll sit next to Smolensk. And this should fall fairly quickly. Alright, Poltoska has fallen. Grab you, move you to Ryzev, and then we can hit Smolensk from both sides when it does finally trigger. Considering it's the oldest one that we've been waiting for, it should trigger already. I'm going to turn the fort off here because we are ready to jump in when it does happen. Incorporate Nizhny Novgorod. Yes, I intend to do that. See, this is where these problems start. So we lose stability and gain inflation, which we don't want to do because it costs us more to raise our stability again. Thanks to our poor corruption and religious unity. So I'd rather take the inflation hit and then just burn down inflation manually. We do actually have admin points to burn at this stage because we just need military and diplo for the idea groups. Renew loans, and there we go, Smoke's finally fired. Let's deal with them, then turn off the maintenance, and the recovery is good to go. I kind of suspect that this one will never fire. The amounts are too low. So we'll just send our troops further behind the front line, turn our maintenance right down. We're now making 5 a month, and boom! Ooh, and the Reformation's just begun. On that note, I will leave you. So thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you are enjoying this series. We are in a prolonged recovery phase right now because of all of the constant fighting we've been doing. We will eventually have to release Muscovy because we're never going to be able to annex them. I will look up if we ever lose the historical rival penalty, but I rather doubt it. That's so annoying. I wish it had told me that when we made the peace deal. If you have any tips or advice, then please do let me know in the comments. I'm always very happy to receive those. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.